Hello, this is Wyvern Blazewood, aka Why Not, here for Streetwear Live with a very special guest, Lam Erin. Lam, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you very much, Wyvern, for inviting me, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you in advance.
We want to know a whole lot about you, but I want to first know how you first came to Second Life and how long ago was that?
Well, it was about 10 years ago, and it's something I discovered in a discussion forum about a new game, new to me. So I decided to come and explore this new game, which appeared to be different from all the others, but at the same time very difficult in the beginning. So I came here with two other friends, with whom we decided to, but who a few days later, after multiple crashes and great difficulties, with the environment here, I was the one who proved to be more stubborn, and I decided to stay, even if I wasn't quite sure in the first, days and weeks, what the purpose of SL was and what I was supposed to be doing here.
Well, I've read through your profile and I saw a lot of things that I already knew about you, but there were a whole bunch of things that you dabble in and dive into that I had no idea that you did. You're a man of many, many talents. One of the obvious areas is fashion, design, and sales, which I guess is really 3 areas, but I belong to Prism, and I saw that in one of your groups. You have Prism. Can you tell us something about Prism and some of your other fashion groups?
Well, I mean, that one of the areas I explored in the early days of the cell was fashion. So back then, talking about 2009 now, about 7 years ago, I had decided with my then ex-partner, Trupolino, to develop a fashion mall, which at the time was to be a very popular place. So I really liked the realism of fashion in Second Life, and also was impressed by the quality of the work that was done by models and designers and creators. So I really enjoyed that experience. It lasted for 3 years. Then I moved out of Second Life, or I took a year off, because sometimes I felt that I was, I had enough of it. So when I came back, I decided then to explore a little bit more the fashion area industry, and also this time from the side of the creator. So I teamed up with Jenny McLaughlin, who owned Prism, and I started designing some men's clothes in the past couple of years.
Yeah, that started out as all women's. I belong to Prism, and there were no men's clothes, and now they have both. That's great.
Well, I mean, yes, it's because Jenny convinced me somehow that it would be because it would be a good idea for me to be involved because I do have an interest in fashion, personal interest from real life too. Not professional, but I mean personal interest. So I spend a lot of time on, studying fashion and visiting and buying, of course. I'm a great shopper in real life, as I am in Second Life. So I really like this area. So I felt that let me give it a try, and why not?
Well, I can tell you, I was amazed at your photography. I've been to your Flickr pages, and I've got to say, those are some of the most spectacular, awe-inspiring photos that I've seen, not just in Second Life, but even in the real world. Are all the photos from Sims in Second Life?
Well,
And
there
how
are,
did
I
you
mean,
find them?
that's quite interesting. I mean, photography developed out of, I had an interest from real life. I was taking pictures from interesting places in real life. So when I came to Second Life, I decided that I wanted to try something similar from, interesting places and people in Second Life. Those Sims, which you saw, were Sims I discovered from Flickr, because in Flickr there is an amazing community of Sim creators, photographers, artists. Artists, I mean, with great quality. And of course, and many of those people are also in Second Life. So I was amazed, first of all, by the first Sims I visited, and I started taking pictures. And yes, the answer to your question is that almost all of those pictures are taken in Second Life. I have added,
Wow.
obviously, my own touches to them, but they are from Sims and places which existed and still exist, many of them in Second
Well, I can't really even pick my favorite photo of the ones that you have there. If you had to choose what you felt was your best or your favorite photo, is there one you can tell me that you would choose?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a difficult question to tell you about because I always tried. I haven't introduced any unique style in my pictures. So everything is different if you try to put them together under a single theme. Of course, there is an overarching theme, which is the landscapes, but all the rest is different. The colors, the photo angle, anything. So I treat them differently because I want to explore. I treat photography as a freedom exercise. So
Well,
I can't decide which one is best,
yeah, I
judging
can't.
at least from. And I used to have this habit of always finding the newest one, maybe because they were newest, some of the
Well,
best, but
have you entered
not
in
always.
photo contests with any of yours? Have you been in
Not actually, not on any big one. I have in a very limited occasion, but it's mostly because I see it as a hobby and a sort of I don't believe in competition in this area. So
uh,
I believe that you know it's just that everybody has their own way of expressing themselves. So I'm not quite sure I would want to be actually part in a real competition. I might have taken part in a couple, but as I said, it's not my thing.
yeah. Well, can you tell us how you developed your skills in taking in photo editing?
Well, it's about being, curious about things. For instance, curious and trying to develop some vision. So behind the image, which means you look at something, some place, some scene in Second Life, which looks interesting, then you take a snapshot of it. And then, though, as you're going through it in your, Photoshop in this case, you start thinking that what about if this color, for instance, was different, or the color of this tree? What if there were some nice clouds in the sky, for instance? Would it making the image better? So in this way, I started, making additions. I started looking and trying to learn techniques by, watching, tutorials on YouTube, asking people who had, were more experienced than me at the time. And that's how I I graduated that. Later on, I developed obviously my own way of editing and creating the image.
Well, we'll make sure that we put your link for your page for people to see all of your photos on your Flickr page, because they need to be shared. They're beautiful. And in your about section on your profile, you also said you do sim designs. Are any of the photos from the sims that you designed?
Yes, there are. I mean, the sim design is also an interesting area because you can originally, I wanted to make obviously my place look nice, the place where I was living. Mm-hmm. Later on, I found out that I could make something which was nice, and more recently, I started, a little bit more seriously in that area. So there is a sim, the current sim where I live in, and where there is the print designs and also my studio is being made by me. So you can always welcome to come and visit. And I've also made some other works for other people as well. Not too many though, because due to the busy schedule, I'm not what we call a professional in this area. But I do like doing it whenever I have time. And it's really fun.
Do you have a favorite one or two of the sims that you've designed, and will you share the
to be honest, I do have, but because Second Life, we tend to update the seasons and to update the sims regularly. Some of those do not exist anymore. But for instance, I really love the winter sim I had made last winter. But now I have turned it into summer. But I do have pictures which I can share with you, so you can see how the sim looked like, and some of the pictures which I took from it when it existed.
Great. We will share all those pictures that we can that you share with us. Now, I met you first through Abby Rose Abbott at CDS, where we were doing the Relay for Life events. And you and I and a couple other people were contestants for one of those events, that Dancing with the Spirit Light Stars event. And if I'm not mistaken, you joined the dance company after that, did you, like I did?
Well, I did join. Well, I mean, I joined originally for that event, as you say. Then I told the team leader that I wanted to stay. There were some issues though in my area because I ran out of time, so I didn't have a chance to take part in any other of their future shows. But I would like to be involved in that project in the future when I have time. I hope they don't mind so much the fact that I had been away. But I really love the project.
They always need people just to even just be in the dance balls for other people doing their showcases and stuff. So
they do some amazing stuff. I mean, I was really impressed by that show we did, and also I attended a couple of other shows they've done afterwards, and they're really amazing. I mean, the attendance of the details and trying to choreograph all those, a big number of people and make them, it was like 20 avatars in that event dancing at the same time and controlled by one person. So it's a big challenge, making sure that everybody gets some time on the pose balls, everybody's rest, nobody's crashing, and of course the person who runs the animations is the one that does some amazing job, in terms of it's flawless. Yeah, I was really impressed by that. Though their role was for the Relay of Life, as you said, which was, and I'm really happy because in the first show we did, I think we raised about more than 100,000 lindens.
Yes,
and the second one was very high, wasn't it? I think you won one of them, didn't you, Wyvern?
Yeah, the very first one.
Yeah, I remember.
Kiko did that dance. Kiko's dance was great.
Yeah, I know. We were the ones just, providing our avatars for that occasion. But
amazing. Well, I haven't gotten into all that choreography yet, but I really would like to, and I'm going to need a lot of help.
Have you done any show with them after that show?
I've been in every show that they've had since then, but I'm not I'm not. I was too busy with my comedy to do the choreography class, and I hope to do that in the fall, maybe.
Well,
When they have.
it's this kind of event. Yeah, it's really, I said, very professional, and it's really very sophisticated, I would say.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a great project, and I hope they will continue doing what they've been doing because it's great success.
Well, they never are short of people to come to those shows, and some people come to every night they have one. So I'm glad that you joined, and you just go there anytime that you can because they always welcome you with open arms, no matter what time, how
They're
much
nice
time you have.
people as well, very nice people, all of them.
Yes, they
So
are.
I had the best of the impressions about those people and the members of
I,
the
I,
group.
uh, I really, really am amazed that Carol does all that by hand because there are other things that are used by other groups out there, and it's not live. It's already all set up, and
Yes, true.
she doesn't have it all. She has to push. She's got to push all the buttons and stuff. That's why I think I'm too dumb to be in that group.
Of course, and that you have to make sure that everybody, all the rest of us, if it's like a group of 20 dancers, have jumped
Yeah,
on the pose balls at the same exact time, and they've
yeah,
done they have changed their clothes from the previous dance as well. But everybody's ready.
yep.
It's all kinds of things, and nobody crashes in the middle of dancing.
That's
It's,
amazing.
it's anyway, it's really, and it was very good. I mean, the whole show, in our case, was flawless, wasn't it? Both shows,
Oh, it
did you do?
was
And nothing happened.
amazing.
So it was uneventful, which was even better, given
Hmm.
what happens in Second Life.
Well, I noted that you not only are into that, but that you have at least 3 blog groups in your profile. Can you share some information about the kinds of blogs that you do and
But,
where you blog?
well, about blogging, my problem with blogging is that I don't, as usually, because of time constraints, I cannot be, uh, I would say, a regular blogger. So I have not opened a personal blog. But what I do is we share with people on my Facebook, on my Flickr, some of the creations of those great creators. So then what I have been doing, I've been doing this for Little Branch. I've been doing this for the skins, samurai skins, which are great. And I've been doing this also for the Ottomania for making some, amazing cars. But as I said, I in order to do it on a very regular basis because there is, I mean, I do not have the time. But I make
Yeah.
sure that the message reaches out to the people by sharing everything I have, the creations of those people, of those great creators with, Facebook, Flickr, people in Second Life. I also use also their products in promotions for designs, fashion
Hmm.
in some occasions. So yeah, that's why I do it.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have a real life if you get too much more involved in anything. I can tell you that because you're very busy. Can you share with us one of your most memorable moments in Second Life from your early days? Could be something funny, scary, proud, whatever.
Well, what I found not scary, but I found funny. Anyway, I had a mixed feeling about it, but quite strong feeling. It had to do with in the early days when I realized that I could buy parts of the body of the avatar. So I found when they were telling me, back then they didn't have mesh head, but they had, body parts like, back then,
Butts and
body,
busts.
yeah, about the body itself. So
Yeah.
I was feeling like I might be, and of course, when I was trying to make those changes on the avatar originally, and it was, of course, I had no clue what I was doing. So originally, and I tried to play with the sliders, the shape sliders in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
And I had created some very orders for me originally because I was trying to see, play with the face and all these, with the sliders. Anyway, the outcome was quite scary, and I was feeling like I had created a Frankenstein at some point. I was saying, oh man, this is really ugly, But and also when people were telling me you can buy all those things, especially about male attachments, that was very hilarious when someone told me a penny story. And he said, you have to buy this if you want to use it. What the heck? Well, that's not for me. But why do you need, not for me, you need to buy this thing. Anyway, it was the old days when we had to buy all those funny things. And originally we're buying, all the freebies. So, anyway.
I had a friend who got the male genital parts, and I don't know how many he got or what, but he didn't know what he was doing, and he ended up with one on his forehead in the middle of a dance club and got kicked out. It was so funny. Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
because normally, because the way, the male body at least, they don't make sense to use them anyway. But there were people saying when I was noob, you need to buy this and this and this. And said, so do I need those? Why do I need those? It's really funny.
Well, I know you may not have any other time, free time, but if you do, are there any other activities that you enjoy on Second Life?
Well, I think one of the what kept me in Second Life for almost 10 years was also the ability, not ability, my ability, it's the ability of Second Life to create some new themes and new, or offer opportunities in many different areas. So that's why, going back to your very first question about all those activities I've been involved with, it's that I always try to discover new things to do. So, so it's about exploring the various, not only activities, various areas of Second Life. For example, when I joined Flickr 3 years ago, I discovered a whole new area of Second Life because those people on Flickr who were making those amazing themes and very amazing, places. Most of those places were not available through search, So you couldn't find them through search. And then I said to myself, before that period, I had already been in Second Life for 6 years. And I thought I had seen everything, Yeah. I had seen everything about Second Life. I said, okay, I'm done with it because there's nothing else to do. And then when I joined Flickr, I discovered all these people who were doing these amazing pictures and these amazing themes, whose existence I had never come across in 6 years in Second Life. So I always seek for opportunities and exploring and themes and meeting new people and trying to see what, trends in Second Life to try to get involved with. So that's a process. I haven't, come like, the event we did for Life was also a new experience for me. I haven't actually been a dancer in Second Life, even in my early days when some people were doing it to get some money, to earn some money. I did it 9 years later for this, charitable event, which was really fun. So that's what I'm doing.
Well, I really have enjoyed having you here today. Do you have anything that I didn't ask that you'd like to share with our audience?
Well, not actually. I think we've covered most of the main issues. Now, about myself, I try to avoid talking too much in general. I don't know if I've overwhelmed you with your answers, but I've,
Not at all. Not at all. It's been very delightful to have you here today. And please share with Nick all the photos and sim photos, photos from the Flickr page, anything that you want in this. Okay?
If I don't know about the photography in Flickr, I would tell them that it's worth visiting the Flickrs of people the Flickr pages of people who are in Second Life. And the reason I'm saying this is because they may discover some really amazing places, some of which will not be available through, let's say, Second Life destinations. They won't be available through other ways of searching in Second Life. So if people really want to explore some new places or some new sort of events taking place, I would say to keep an eye on what's going on Flickr, because there are people posting them events there which are not always do not always appear on search and events in Second Life. Some of them
That's good
do.
to know. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's really a lot of. It's a whole. I won't say new world, but a whole different world from the world we used to be having. Or at least that's what I discovered when I first joined Flickr. There were so many people in Second Life, great artists, great creators, great photographers, great filmmakers, who I had not met before. So it may be me because I didn't have time to explore more, but the Flickr gave me a big opportunity to discover new things. So I would tell people to spend some time if they don't know what they want to discover something new, explore something new, take a tour of the Flickr of some people, or ask people to give you some Flickr streams. I mean, there are great things happening there, which some people within the world may not have discovered yet.
Thank you for that information. I think that would be helpful to me. I need to get on Flickr. This has been Wyvern Blazewood with Lam Erin, and thank you once again, Lam, for spending this time with me.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I hope also you enjoyed the conversation we had. Thank you for inviting me as well.